Field in Landover, Maryland. It's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is DJ Reed returning. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
He's brought down.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 14 carries, 66 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
By the wide receiver.
12 yards there and a first down.
6-yard line.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
It's a pickup of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. First carry for Carlos Hyde. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Complete to Chris Carson.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. There's Wilson to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Wilson.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
The field goal is good. Makes the score Seahawks 3, Washington 0.
They moved the ball pretty well there on the opening drive. You think they're okay settling for 3?
I don't think they're happy about settling for 3, but I think you're exactly right with the word okay, because they threw it well, they ran it well. Excellent balance for the first drive of the game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on that.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Hurts the best running quarterback in this year's crop of rookies. He's got a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
The tackle made.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. Open man here, Sims, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get.
And he lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right up. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd and 14 coming up. 3rd and long. It's Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep. That's caught at the 25. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
A gain of 46 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And from the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run the counter. Carson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
He is good. Makes the score Seahawks 6. Washington.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
At their own 20-yard line.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2 as the season winds down and you look at them in totality. You know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now it's Hines. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Hines. That's good.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Hines. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
The ball carrier.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The ball carrier. Jamal Adams.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
He'll take over.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into cover.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
Tyler Lockett. Touchdown.
Tyler Lockett. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, Speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Their own 28-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
To number 84.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. This is Hines.
Naheem Hines, the ball carrier.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he connects with Hurts. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18.
1st and 10 at the...
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he finds his tight end. It's Hurts. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run with Hines. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. We'll see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Chris Carson has proven to be a workhorse for the Seattle Seahawks, and they continue to expand his game. We know that he can run inside and be a bruising type of a player, but he has surprising speed to the perimeter, and they've expanded his game now by throwing it to him out of the backfield. In 2019, in the top 10 in the league in touches and yards from scrimmage.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts.
First down, Seahawks.
It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. goes Wilson. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And Russell Wilson gets sacked, and he tied for the most sacks in the NFL last season with 48 in total. But Seattle likes to throw the ball deep, so that means you're going to take more time to get the ball downfield. Sometimes the offensive line can't hold up, and he ends up hitting the deck on those plays.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. First down. It's Carson, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
And it's 3rd down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And they're not going to get the snap off. This might back him out of field goal range. And that'll set him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Wilson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon.
For the Seahawks.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So we've reached. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
13. Washington, nothing.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 4 yards. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
First down.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
A gain of 6 there on first.
Complete.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
First and 10.
That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Brought him down.
He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once,
and he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Steven Sims Jr., his third touchdown now on the year. And Washington has made this a one-score game. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Taken in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Hawks take over first and 10. At their own 23.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And the Seahawks first down.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Ball carrier.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On second down and 4. Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Collins on the coverage.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. To throw is Wilson. Hard throw, incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Reed returning. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it will... They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts. It's just their 1st. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the 1st half. They made